So what was appealing about lean tools? Well, for me, it was something that you could do quite quickly. You could sort of take it as a package off the shelf. The fact that it was a lean blitz tool meant that you would do things within a week. And of course, that would solve all my problems, wouldn't it?
Six Sigma was the new answer to all our prayers.
As a lean Kaizen facilitator, what I would do, I would use the lean Kaizen tools. In doing that, we would use things like poker yoke, 5S, the use of spaghetti diagrams. We'd also do things like tack time, and generally all those things that we do in manufacturing, but trying to apply them in a service environment.
We used to put red tags and red paint on things. So some of my colleagues would just go out and put door red paint on things and red tags on things.
We redesigned processes around trying to standardise people's demand that was coming into the organisation, so that we could deal with it in set ways and script it. And that was the sort of early parts of setting up a contact centre arrangement.
We get a team together of people and spend a week doing a blitz event in a particular office. So we'd have people using bits of string on bits of paper, trying to map the flow of the work. We'd have people tidying up the office, getting rid of things around the office, just a big tidy up exercise. We'd introduced things like coloured bits of paper in files to try and make things more visual.
Gave us a nice feeling that whoever had thought up these different procedures and these different forms had a lot of knowledge and experience from previous work, and therefore we were benefiting from that work and not having to think for ourselves and do things differently because we already had the answer ready-made for us.
You use the tools and you might get some small changes to begin with, but those changes certainly aren't sustainable.
And we often lost sight of what it was we were actually supposed to be doing because we spent so much time actually working on these tools.
And this is how good I am by getting a service, for example, to kind of comply with this lean thinking aspect of saying, yeah, well, tell me what kind of targets you will adhere to, but also likewise, what is your value stream overall, and of course, what's your tack time.
I yearned for a better way, but didn't really know where to look. And by chance, I saw an advert for John Seddon's website in the back of Private Eye magazine, and I was intrigued and looked it up.
It was a management consultant of an alcohol service that was commissioned recently. Again, very revolutionary in their approach. But he kind of stopped me dead and said, have you thought about something different? And at the time, I kind of said no. Of course not, how dare you.
So it kind of fitted in with the thinking that I had, because I always knew the tools weren't quite right. They didn't kind of work. I was still hunting the scrap every day for 5 years.
Lean does not address the management issues that kind of got us where we are.
You wouldn't go to fix a car with a hammer. That's just your only tool, the only thing that you've got. You'd actually work out what's wrong with the car, why isn't the car working, what do you want the car to do.
It only looks from a managerial thinking point of view to say, here's what I think the problem to be, so here's what we think, here's a tool set we should use, which should be applied to kind of fix the problem. And certainly what I found is that it doesn't do that, it doesn't fix the problem whatsoever. It doesn't highlight systemic issues within the system.
I can't actually trace through any of the interventions that I did where any of the thinking actually changed within the service, where there was ever a light bulb moment that said we've been doing the wrong thing all these years.
So you don't go in with the tools, you go in with thinking. It's the thinking that's important, not the tool.
But it's completely different, and it obviously alters your thinking massively. The biggest thing I've likened it to is kind of a lifting of a veil.
I was quite shocked looking back on it to see how much faith I had actually put in these tools, which had stopped me from actually thinking for myself.
We're not making cars at the rate of demand.
And one of the, if you like, the fatal errors I made in my naivety is I taught people how to do the tools, and now I'm older and wiser, I resist that.
I used to be a toolhead, but I'm all right now.